It was March of 2019 when my friend Alex, who I'll call Alex for privacy, invited me to sleep over at his house for a night or two. At the time, things weren't great at home. My parents and I were constantly arguing, and though they didn't kick me out, the tension was unbearable. I knew they wouldn't be happy if I stayed out overnight, so I decided to take a 15-minute walk to Alex's place, figuring that would be easier than dealing with the fallout. We didn't talk much about what was coming next, but things were about to take a sharp turn. We spent the evening playing Grand Theft Auto 5 in Alex's basement. The atmosphere was casual, just the two of us immersed in the game, when suddenly we heard a woman scream. It was chilling, sharp, and desperate, and it came from outside. Both Alex and I froze. "What was that?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "I don't know," Alex replied, his face pale. After a few moments of silence, he said, "We should go to the woods tomorrow. There's an abandoned house out there. Maybe we'll find something cool." At the time, we were only 11, and of course I was scared, but despite my fear, I agreed. That night, sleep didn't come easy. I could hear strange tapping sounds on the window, like something, or someone, was lightly knocking. But when I checked, there was nothing there. I tried to ignore it and went back to sleep, but the unease lingered. The next morning, Alex led me into the woods. After a short walk, we found the abandoned house. The structure was decaying, covered in layers of dirt and rot. It looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. I remember feeling a chill as we approached. Alex, full of excitement, crawled through a broken window, urging me to follow. Inside, the smell hit us immediately. A foul, rotten odor that made my stomach turn. Alex didn't seem fazed. In fact, he acted like this was some sort of adventure, telling me to hold my nose and keep going. But I could barely handle it. The air was thick and heavy with decay. We made our way upstairs, Alex leading the way with enthusiasm. As we reached the top, the stench grew stronger, and I felt my heart racing. Alex, undeterred, headed straight for the room where the smell seemed to be coming from. He opened the door, and I begged him to stop. "Don't go in there," I pleaded. But Alex just scoffed. "Stop being a pussy. Let's see what's inside." When Alex opened the door, my heart stopped. In the small closet stood a rotting corpse, its decayed flesh barely clinging to the bone. Broken beer bottles lay scattered on the floor, along with filthy clothes, socks, shirts, and other items that looked like they hadn't been touched in years. The sight was enough to freeze me in place, my body numb with terror. I didn't even think. I just turned and ran, faster than I've ever had before. With Alex right behind me, we stumbled our way out of the woods, and despite fear gnawing at us, we knew that we had to do something. We called the police, fully aware that we'd probably get in trouble for breaking and entering. But that didn't matter. The situation was too serious. The police arrived with a search team and several others whose faces I couldn't quite remember. The investigation that followed was intense, but I can't recall much more after that. All I know is that the house was sealed off, and whatever happened that day remained a mystery. But I'll always have this story to tell. Maybe one day, I'll share it with my kids. When my cousin and I were teenagers, sneaking out at night was our thing. It was something about the empty streets, the cool night air, and the quiet that made us feel like we had the world to ourselves. Our usual routine? A late night walk to McDonald's, a 20 to 30-minute trek from my house, where we'd grab some fries and laugh about whatever nonsense came to mind. At the time, she was living with me and my mom, so I always had to make sure to sneak back before dawn, avoiding any chance of getting caught. But one night, we encountered something that changed everything. It was around 4 a.m. Our stomachs were full, our laughter still lingering in the air as we made our way home. But that's when we passed by a narrow, unlit path leading to an old apartment block. Nothing unusual, until we noticed her. Beneath the dim glow of a flickering street lamp, a woman stood completely still, gazing up at a cat perched on a windowsill. She was dressed entirely in black, her posture unnaturally stiff, as if frozen in time. Something about her sent a strange unease through me, but I brushed it off. "This place has a lot of druggies," my cousin mumbled. "She's probably just high." I nodded, ready to move on. Then she turned to face us. Her breath hitched. Her eyes were dark, not shadowed, almost entirely black. And though she was far away, I swear she was smiling. A deep primal instinct kicked in. Run. We bolted, feet pounding against the pavement, adrenaline drowning out everything else. The sound of our breaths, our shoes skidding on the concrete, it was all a blur. No matter how fast we ran, she was still there. Walking. Not sprinting. Not even jogging. Just walking. I dared to glance back, but she had stopped, standing at the edge of darkness, watching us. The air around her felt wrong, thick, suffocating, as if something unseen coiled around her like smoke. The smile, if it was a smile, remained. Eerie and unshaken, we didn't stop running until we reached a Tesco down the road, where a few early morning shoppers lingered outside. Only then did we finally let ourselves breathe. When we looked back, she was gone. We never saw her again. But even now, years later, my cousin and I still talk about that night. Who or what she was, we'll never know. And honestly, I think I'm okay with that. I used to be part of a local paranormal investigation team, diving into the unknown and facing things that most people wouldn't believe. Things that still haunt me. I'd fought off attacks from non-corporeal entities bent on harm and even possession. I'd witnessed reality bend, seen and heard things that defied all logic. But life circumstances forced me to step away from that world. One of my teammates had a dangerous habit. She collected artifacts from the haunted places we investigated. Items tied to spirits, curses, and energies better left alone. Her home, already steeped in turmoil from her personal life, had turned into a paranormal hotspot. Lately, things had grown darker and more aggressive. She pleaded with her team leader to investigate, hoping to uncover the source and put it to an end. We agreed, setting a date for a full-scale investigation. That night, we met at the headquarters to gather our gear. Cameras, EMF detectors, audio recorders, thermal sensors. Parking was limited at our house. We split into groups. I was one of the drivers, with 3 teammates and a cooler full of soda and snacks crammed into my car. The drive took about 40 minutes. When we arrived, did a walkthrough to get a feel for the space and figure out the best spots for our cameras. Outside, under the carport, other members were already setting up a base station with monitors to track our findings in real time. Then we stepped into the living room. Glass display cases lined the walls, packed with dolls of all kinds. Porcelain, cloth, antique, modern. Their unblinking eyes seemed to follow us around the room. Many of these dolls were artifacts collected from various locations, each carrying its own history and energy. One in particular drew me in. A small porcelain doll with beautifully painted features, dressed in a red dress, white pinafore, and a matching red bonnet. As I turned to walk away from the case, something shifted in the corner of my eye. My breath caught me. The doll, the one in the red dress, moved. Its tiny porcelain hand had reached towards me. I froze, my mind scrambling for any logical explanation. Before I could even voice my doubts, a teammate beside me whispered, "The doll just moved." A chill ran through me. I hadn't imagined it. Someone else had seen it too. Every instinct in my body screamed to get out of there. I had never felt such overwhelming need to flee, but I forced myself to stay. Despite the fear clawing at my gut, I was there for a reason. I needed to know what we were dealing with. I needed to understand. Most of all, I needed to help. Push forward with the investigation, setting up equipment, asking questions, and capturing every moment. The atmosphere grew heavier, and the sense of something watching us was inescapable. In the end, we uncovered disturbances, flickering lights, strange sounds, shadow figures, but nothing concrete to explain the aggressive shift in energy. We did what we could, offering cleansing and advice, but the feeling of unfinished business lingered. I left the night more shaken than I've ever been, but I'll always have this story to tell. Maybe one day I'll share with others, if only to warn them.